Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever found yourself, caught in that cycle, just reacting to the market instead of feeling like you're truly controlling your trading? Maybe you're chasing consistency, jumping between strategies, downloading, I don't know, another new indicator, and maybe just burning out trying to remember to stay disciplined. Well, today we're diving into something that could fundamentally change that whole dynamic for you. We're talking about building what we call a trader operating system, your own personal trader OS. And look, this is way more than just keeping a journal. It's a really comprehensive, intentional framework. It's designed to help you turn that market randomness into repeatable results. And, crucially, it's about mastering yourself in the market, too. So our mission in this deep dive is pretty clear. First, explore why having a solid trading system is just essential. Can't trade without it, really. Then we'll get into the tools. We'll look at some powerful digital apps you can use specifically Notion for, like project management.
Right, the overall structure.
Exactly. Then Logseq for knowledge management.
Your trading brain, basically.
Yeah, love that. And Google Calendar for time management. And finally, we'll give you some really clear, actionable steps so you can start engineering your own system, like right away.
You know, what's really fascinating here is how most traders actually approach this. They do chase those shiny new strategies, the indicators, and eventually, yeah, they just burn out. They're trying to mentally force discipline. But a well-built Trader OS, it flips that completely. It makes consistency, well, it makes it a natural consequence of your whole process. It's not something you chase after. It just kind of happens as a byproduct of how you've designed your trading. The goal here is a really profound shift, moving from just reacting, constantly putting out fires, to having an intentional, optimized approach that genuinely compounds your edge over time. This whole system idea, it's really about giving you control over the variables you can actually control.
That's a powerful way to put it. A natural consequence, not something forced. And it makes you think, whether we realize it or not, every single part of our trading already operates on some kind of system, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It might be a chaotic system, but it's a system.
Right. How you analyze charts, how you manage risk, how you enter trades, even how you handle losses. These are all systemic processes. So the real question isn't if you have a system. It's whether you're kind of stuck with these random reactive systems.
The ones that drain your account.
Exactly. Or if you're building intentional, optimized systems that are actively building your edge. Because most traders, they don't consciously choose their systems, do they? They just sort of fall into them.
Mm-hmm. Habits take over.
Yeah, maybe it's strategies copied from some random YouTube video or risk management that's just based on gut feel or, FOMO entries. And if you find yourself doing that stuff, taking impulsive trades, blowing past your risk limits, making the same mistakes again and again, it's probably not just a willpower problem. It's more fundamental. It's a trading system design problem.
Precisely. If you don't intentionally engineer how you trade, your emotions and frankly, your bad habits, they will inadvertently design those systems for you.
That's a sobering thought.
It is. And connecting this to the bigger picture, this Trader OS, it isn't just, important. I genuinely believe it's the most critical project for any serious trader, because what it does is it integrates everything. Your daily, your weekly, your monthly reviews, they all feed into this powerful, self-correcting feedback loop. And that's designed specifically for continuous growth. This goes way beyond just basic record keeping. It's about building self-awareness with data. That's the key phrase.
Self-awareness with data. I like that.
Yeah, it's how you spot those crucial patterns. Like, do you execute better after taking a walk before the session? Does your risk discipline, fall apart after a big win? These are the deeper kind of internal metrics behind every single trade you take.
So the real edge isn't just out there in the charts then. It's more internal. It's in the system you build to master yourself.
Exactly. The most significant edge you'll ever develop isn't found purely in market analysis, no. It's in the disciplined system you build to manage yourself. This system, it empowers you. It lets you control the controllables. What are those? Your daily pre-trading routines, your precise process for analysis and trade selection, robust risk management, effective trade management, regulating your emotions. Also, systematically testing strategies and having consistent performance review routines. It covers everything you can control.
It sounds comprehensive.
It is. Think about legendary coaches. Nick Saban in American football, right? He always said, don't look at the scoreboard, play the next play.
Yeah.
It's about focusing intensely on your process, not getting fixated on the immediate outcome, because ultimately your P&L, your win rate, even your emotional state, they're all direct results, direct outcomes of the systems you build.
Okay, that really lands the why. So that brings us to the really exciting part. How do we actually build this thing? Let's talk about the specific tools. You mentioned creating a kind of digital trading floor. Let's dive into how Notion, Logseq, and Google Calendar can be those key components, each playing its own distinct but complementary role in your Trader OS.
Okay, let's start with Notion. Notion is, I like to call it your trading command center.
Oh, yeah.
This is where you handle the project management side of things, specifically your trade journal. Imagine it like a dynamic database.
Mm-hmm.
Each entry is a trade. You set up properties for things like date time, which can often be automated, which is nice. The instrument you traded, of course. And then crucial analytical fields, like the setup type. You can have drop downs for, say, breakout or pullback. Makes it easy to categorize.
Okay, standard journal stuff so far.
Right. But here's where it gets really insightful. You can also track your emotional state, maybe on the simple scale, 1 to 5, and give yourself an execution score, maybe 1 to 10. This is where you start connecting your internal state, how you felt, how well you followed your plan, to the actual results.
Ah, okay, so connecting the subjective to the objective.
Exactly. And yeah, you can embed screenshots of your charts right into the trade entry too. Very useful for review.
So it's not just a flat list of trades, it's about tagging and categorizing the context around each trade. That's where the deeper insights come from, right?
Precisely. Notion's real power, I think, shines in how it lets you visualize all this data.
Hmm.
You can instantly switch views, maybe a calendar view to see your trading frequency, or a gallery view with little trade cards for a visual scan, or just a classic table view for deep data analysis. But the real aha moment, that comes when you build out a comprehensive dashboard in Notion. This isn't just a summary page. It's where you start seeing your hidden biases, your unconscious patterns all laid bare.
Okay, so the dashboard is where the magic happens.
Pretty much. You might suddenly see your win rate broken down by setup type, or reveal clear correlations between your emotional state score and your PL for the day. Maybe you find out your best or worst trading times. This lets you intercept those negative patterns before they really hurt your account, and, just as importantly, double down on what is working.
Makes sense. Okay, so Notion is the command center, the database. What about the next tool, Logseq?
Right, Logseq. I think of Logseq as your trading brain. It's your dedicated knowledge management system. It's incredibly powerful for creating these things called daily trading pages. It's where you can structure your thoughts, your plans, your reflections. For example, you could start every single session with structured bullet points for your pre-market prep. You might note things like market conditions, bullish or maybe range bound, or track key levels, support at $6, resistance at dollars. The double brackets create links, which is key.
Okay, so it's like a structured journal, but more freeform.
Kind of. And the real magic for me happens in your post-trade notes. You could have a template like trade TO Duo ABC stock, and then prompts underneath, why entered, why exited, and critically, lessons. This isn't just taking notes, it's like you're building a living, breathing neural network of your trading knowledge. Everything connects.
On a neural network. So Logseq lets you build like a personal wiki of your trading insights, connecting ideas together.
Exactly. Its power comes from its really intuitive tag system and that backlinking feature I mentioned. You can use tags like hashtag setup breakout or hashtag bestowed over trading, maybe hashtag insight liquidity, whatever categories make sense for you. And the backlinking automatically connects related concepts. So if you mention risk management on multiple pages, Logseq links them all together.
Ah, I see. So knowledge compounds automatically.
Yes. It creates this web of interconnected knowledge that just speeds up your learning curve massively. Every new insight immediately connects to your past lessons. It deepens your understanding over time. It basically becomes your own personalized trading encyclopedia, constantly growing and self-referencing.
That sounds incredibly powerful for learning. Okay, Notion for project management, Logseq for the brain. What about Google Calendar? Seems simpler.
Simpler, maybe, but essential. We integrate Google Calendar as your trading rhythm, your time management bedrock. This is where you impose that disciplined structure onto your trading day and your week. You can use color-coded blocks to visually organize your time. Maybe red for live market hours, blue for research and analysis time, green for dedicated trade review sessions, whatever works for you.
Visual structure. I like that.
And it's invaluable for setting up recurring events. This is how you ensure consistency in your routine, which is vital. Things like a daily 30-minute pre-market prep session every single day, or a weekly Sunday strategy review, maybe a monthly performance audit. Lock it in. You can also set up timely reminders, little things like check risk exposure, maybe set that hourly during active trading, or journal trades now, right after your session ends. These reminders help you stay disciplined in the heat of the moment. It's all about building a consistent, optimized rhythm for your trading day, rather than just, reacting to whatever the market throws at you.
Okay, Notion, Logseq, Calendar.
Yeah.
Got it. And I guess the real power comes when they work together. You mentioned integration.
Absolutely. That's where these tools become truly transformative,
Yeah.
their integration strategy. You can, for example, export summaries from your Notion dashboards as simple markdown files and paste them right into Logseq for deeper, more analytical notes or reflections. You can embed your Google Calendar view directly into your main Notion trading dashboard, so your schedule and your performance metrics are right there, side by side.
Ah, that's handy. Centralized view.
Very. And critically, you can copy and paste key insights, those lessons learned from your Logseq knowledge base, back into your Notion monthly review pages. This continuous connecting of data points, that is precisely what creates that incredibly powerful, self-improving feedback loop we talked about.
Right, the loop.
Yeah. It's truly transformative because it means your individual actions, your daily notes, your weekly reviews, they're all constantly feeding into your overall growth and system refinement.
Okay, this sounds amazing, but maybe a little overwhelming to set up all at once. So what does this actually mean for you, the listener? How do you actually start building this kind of comprehensive system?
It's really important to acknowledge this is a process, right? It's kind of like moving into a new workspace. It takes time to adjust to make it truly yours.
Forgetting to track your entry reason in your first few logs, that's totally normal. It's part of the learning curve. It's not some kind of failure. This system isn't a magic pill, is it? It's more like a mirror. It just reflects your trading habits back at you, warts and all, allowing you to see what's really going on.
That's absolutely right. And probably the most important pro tip here is start small. Gradually add complexity. Don't try to build Rome in a day. We strongly, strongly recommend starting with just Notion for your first 30 days. Get comfortable with it. Focus on manually logging your trades, reviewing them there. Establish that foundational habit first.
Okay, Notion first, got it.
Then, once that feels natural, gradually introduce Logseq for that deeper analysis and knowledge management piece. And finally, layer in Google Calendar to really optimize your scheduling and daily routines. Step by step. We can even break this down into phases, maybe.
Yeah, phases would be helpful.
Okay, phase 1. This is for, say, your first 30 trades, or if you're basically a beginner. Focus intensely on manual logging. This builds that crucial discipline muscle, and it helps you start internalizing patterns just through the act of recording. Aim to log consistently, maybe target 3 trades per day, something manageable, and focus on just 3 to 5 core metrics initially. Things like your emotional state score, setup quality, maybe a discipline score, definitely the entry reason, and perhaps the biggest exit mistake if there was one. Keep it simple.
And you mentioned traffic lights.
Yeah. Use a simple traffic light coding system, green, yellow, red for quick review. Green means followed plan perfectly, yellow minor deviation, red major mistake. It helps you spot immediate problems at a glance. The main goal in phase 1 is just to identify your initial leaks, those consistent costly mistakes. Find the low-hanging fruit.
Okay, so first month is about basic logging, building the habit, finding the obvious glaring patterns.
Exactly. Find the easy wins for improvement first. Then you move into phase 2. This might be around week 4 or maybe into month 2. Here, you begin refining your system and adding more layers of insight. You might add just one simple automation, maybe auto-tagging winners or common errors like revenge trades, in Notion using a formula. Crucially, this is when you start building that weekly pattern report or dashboard we talked about, something to surface your biggest leaks systematically.
Like the example you gave.
Right, like you might discover, my win rate drops 40% after I have 3 losing trades in a row. That immediately flags a potential issue with emotional recovery or tilt control. This is also when you'll probably tweak your Notion properties based on what you're learning and start linking your Logseq notes more actively. Use those insights to actually inform and update your trading plan.
Okay, refining, adding automation, building the feedback loop. What's phase 3?
Phase 3. This might be in quarter 1 or generally for more advanced traders. Now the focus shifts towards efficiency and really scaling those insights. This is where you might build a dedicated leaks dashboard in Notion. Its whole purpose is to expose your worst mindset triggers. You might recognize, wow, I tend to overtrade after I have caffeine. Or you might pinpoint specific time-based edges, like the London close setup actually wins 68% of the time for me.
Maybe really specific now.
Exactly. At this stage, you might even consider integrating more advanced tools, maybe AI-powered journals that analyze your text notes, or more automated dashboards, perhaps even linking to backtesting results. The point is, your system becomes much more data-driven. For example, if after logging 100 trades manually, you consistently notice 70% of your losses happen in really low volatility conditions, well, now your system can perhaps flag those conditions for you before you trade, helping you avoid them.
Proactive avoidance.
Or if your system flags that your edge just vanishes after 3 p.m. your time, you could automate a simple no new trades alert that pops up at, say, 2:45 p.m. Little nudges based on your data.
That sounds incredibly useful.
And finally, don't forget the crucial maintenance routine. This isn't set it and forget it. Daily, maybe just 5 minutes for Logseq bullet journaling. Get those thoughts down. And complete your Notion trade entries properly, weekly. Audit your Google Calendar. Did you actually stick to your planned time blocks? Review your Notion dashboard metrics, what jumped out this week? And monthly. Archive your completed cycles. Maybe prune unused tags or templates in Notion and Logseq. Keep the system clean, efficient, and relevant to where you are now.
That phased approach, starting small, adding layers, that makes it feel so much more achievable, less daunting. And it really underscores that point you made earlier. Your system isn't some instant fix. It is a mirror. It just keeps reflecting your habits back at you, letting you see what's truly happening under the hood.
Precisely. And the real beauty of it is that your system genuinely gets sharper the longer you use it, just like your instincts. It evolves with you. Through that consistent logging, emotional state, discipline score, execution grade, you will start to spot subtle but really important patterns. Maybe you execute way better after that pre-session walk. Or maybe your risk discipline predictably slips after just a small win, not just a big one. Or how fatigue impacts your patience later in the day.
The stuff you'd never notice otherwise.
Exactly. This isn't just about what's on the chart anymore. It's about understanding the internal metrics behind every single trade. It's not just system building. It's kind of like identity engineering as a trader. Your system becomes this highly personalized performance framework, and it must align with your unique psychology, your schedule, your risk tolerance, and your specific edge in the market. It has to be yours.
Wow. Identity engineering. That's a powerful concept. So just to recap then, building an intentional trader operating system. It really does seem like the most important project for any serious trader who's looking for consistent performance and, maybe more importantly, genuine self-mastery. It's about transforming your whole approach, treating trading like the high-performance endeavor it is, and creating a personalized framework that just relentlessly compounds your edge over time.
Couldn't have said it better. A Trader OS is essentially your trading brain, externalized and optimized. The better your system becomes, the better you perform. It's that direct. And remember, the ultimate edge isn't just found in the charts. It's really in the system that trains you how to read them effectively. And perhaps more importantly, the system that trains you to master yourself.
Okay, so final thought for everyone listening. Let me ask you this and be honest with yourself. If you invested your hard-earned money into someone else, a professional, to trade it for you, would you be truly happy, truly confident if they prepared for their trading day, if they managed their risk, if they reviewed their performance exactly the same way you just did right now? Your P&L, your win rate, your emotional state, they are all profoundly shaped by the systems you build, whether you build them consciously or not. So the question is, what kind of system are you going to start building today?